And we are finally back for episode 10, the big 1-0 for the Bayou Dragons podcast. Per usual, me and Mitchell, and we have Matthew, the other member of the Bayou Dragons. I think he was on episode 4 or 5, maybe 3. I can't read, so I don't know which one it was, but glad he's back on. Figure we just bullshit a little bit. It's been about a week and a half since we've done one, so...
Yeah, y'all been doing a bunch of shit. Matt had the Texas Trophy Hunters Expo he did last weekend. Porter's been traveling, and I've just been at home working on the house and stuff. So this is the first time we've really been able to sit down and do an episode.
Yep, and figure we'd get into just each different little section. This is our first big show to do as a Bayou Dragons, and I'm saying we, as a group, but Matthew definitely held it down. He went out there, clutched it. Him and my sister Keaton went, and y'all did good. I mean,
yeah, ton of credit to Keaton. She towed the line for us big time.
Yeah, I like her. She's bossy. So y'all did good though. I mean, we made a profit, which we're not really worried about money, just more of getting our name out there, exposure.
Yeah, it was really, really cool to get to meet some of you guys, and I know that I had a few of y'all came by the booth and let us know that y'all tuned into the podcast. Y'all followed us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, all that good stuff. So it was really nice getting to meet you guys. If you were out there, you know who you are. We appreciate y'all stopping by. Really fun experience, and just adds a different aspect of, something new for us that, we haven't tapped into. Just being on social media kind of adds another dimension for us. So it was really a cool experience and just fun all around, getting to network with everybody.
Yeah, the networking's the big thing. And it seems you met some pretty cool people up there, and looking forward to this hunting season. Honestly, there's a lot of people that have offered up a lot of, cool hunts and hangouts and shit like that.
Oh yeah, and it's like a mutual thing too. Like when we come out and we do these things, and maybe somebody, like I had a bunch of people that didn't know what we did, and it wasn't so much that they looked and saw that on social media things were kind of going bigger for us, and they're growing a lot, but we just kind of tell them the rundown on what we have going on, and kind of what we do on social media as far as like filming our experiences and our hunts and stuff like that. And they're all about that, especially the guys who run these businesses and they hunt where it's veterans or disabled people, and they're getting to do stuff like that, where capturing the experience is like a big part of something that they want to add to what they've got going on. So pretty cool, man.
So basically, we're doing this little deal with the Texas Trophy Hunters Extravaganza is what it's called, and they did a Houston event, and they're also doing one in Dallas and San Antonio. San Antonio, Matthew?
Yeah, San Antonio 2 weeks from now.
So we're going to be, if everything works out, we're going to be at the Dallas event coming up this next weekend. Me and Matthew will be running the booth, have a little help with us, and I'm really looking forward to it. I've never got to really do the full-blown Expo. I've always had to work or whatever, so I'm pumped.
Well, I'm pumped for you to go because you're the face.
Oh, I mean,
the TikTok,
not really the face.
How many people?
Man, I'll tell you right now,
the cameraman.
There were no people that asked about you. Nobody knew who you were.
Good. I don't care if people know who I am or not. I just want to go meet people, promote our business, and I know people will like our shit when they see it.
They were definitely asking about you guys. Sadly I had to tell them, hey man, this is all you get. You get a little tease. You get Matthew for the weekend, and if you want to come to Dallas, man, I'll bring as many of the boys as I can.
Yeah, I will. Unfortunately, not be there. I'll be also going on another trip, so that's where I've been. We'll get back to talking about the expos and shit, but I just got back from a pretty cool trip. Me and 20 other guys that I've never met in my life flew up to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and played in a big golf tournament. And if you've never played there, it is beautiful.
What was the name of the tournament?
Besties with Testes. This was year number 5, and what we do is the majority of the money goes to testicular cancer research. So, and our shirts are fantastic. It's a bunch of old men, and their nuts are hanging out of their shirts, and they're swinging a golf club. It's like each year there's a new old man with his nuts hanging out, and for the 5th year it had each logo just platted across it.
That's badass that y'all raise money for that, for testicular cancer. I mean, it's a cool cause, and you get to have a great time doing it.
Oh, yeah, dude. I mean, I slept like 12 hours in 5 days. I drank like 7 gallons of vodka. I felt like shit, but had a fucking blast. And just, it all goes to a good cause. So that helps push you to be able to be like, okay.
All the more reason to do it.
All the more
Power
reason to do
through
it. Yeah, and I think the Bayou Dragons will do something like that one day.
I definitely want to do, and we've talked about putting on a golf tournament, local here in Southeast Texas. I think we'd have a great turnout, and we could, raise money for a good cause.
Dude,
do a percentage, too.
I'll tell you the thing, going back to the Expo deal, like getting to network with people, there are so many good causes out there that we could support that would provide great opportunities and help out a lot of people. So definitely something I'm excited about.
Yeah, it was neat. Like, I didn't even know about this. So Doug messaged me like in February, said, hey, trip. Like, and we went up early. We went to Missoula, Montana, played there, then drove over to Coeur d'Alene. And it was during Celebrity Weekend. So there's like all these ex-MLB players and NFL players and shit like that. And I'm going to have to, I can't remember who it was, Pedrea, who used to play second base for the Red Sox. He walked by and everybody was like, what's up, Pedrea? And I was like, oh, wait, you're the guy that played for the Yankees, right? I thought he was going to deck me. I walked by and I said it and just kind of like did that, and he was like, I was like, hey, dude, chill the fuck out. But it was a blast. But and I told you all a little bit. I was in Missoula, Montana, and I think the dude's name's Lucas. I have the info on my phone, but Lucas, shout out to you if you're watching this. He just random little hole in the wall bar up in Missoula, Montana. Cole walked up to the bar, ordering a beer. And he's like, dude, I fucking love the Bayou Dragons.
In fucking Montana.
In Montana, Missoula, Montana. This dude, the bartender, goes, I love the Bayou Dragons. And he's like, well, I know one of the owners right here. And he's like, what? No way.
Hell yeah.
I walked up and he's, dude, on me, dude. Shots, twisted tea. And I took full advantage of it.
I would have done the same.
That is what's nice. Any bartenders that like us, we appreciate the free shit.
Hey, very first person to walk up to the booth in Houston, before we open, all the exhibitors are in there setting up. Before they let anybody in, another exhibitor came by the booth. He's like, Bayou Dragons, man. Like, I see you guys on TikTok, Instagram. You guys are badass, man. I'm like, hell yeah, dude. He said, where are you from? And that's a question you have to answer 1,000 times. Where are you from? Where y'all from? I said, man, and we're in Houston, right? So Winnie, we're right down the road. I'm like, you know where Winnie's at? He's like, no, I'm from South Dakota. I was like, damn, and you know us? He was like, yeah, man, y'all shit's badass, dude. I was like, hell yeah, man. And so we got to talking, and, he was the very first person to buy anything from us at the Expo.
Hell yeah.
A couple hats
from South Dakota.
Yeah, his name was Parker, man. He's a really cool guy. He had a booth down there. They were selling suppressors, do a lot of hunting, like varmints and coyotes and stuff like that. Cool dude, man.
That's dope.
And mainly, I think the Texas Trophy Hunters, it's a lot of big game, whitetail stuff, I would assume.
There's a lot of whitetail mounts when I went and set up.
Man, and there were some mixed feelings about this among, like, the exhibitors and stuff, but supposedly Texas Trophy Hunters just kind of, like, did a merge with, like, Safari Club, so there was all the whitetail and, like, the upland game and stuff like that, but also a lot of, like, safari-type places where they'll take you, you go to, like, Africa and all that, like I know Ty Weaver, he did a lot of the safari stuff, and he was out there promoting that. And they're just like all over the world, kind of like really big game hunting type stuff out there.
But also you can do that in Texas. I mean, shit, I bet there's at least one vendor there. It's like, why go to Africa when you can go to Junction? You got a high fence ranch where you can shoot.
You come to Junction and shoot you a fucking tiger on my ranch.
Yeah, like something just ridiculous. Like, you want some Gemsbach? I got it.
Come shoot a giraffe out of my backyard.
Yeah,
I'll put you up on the second story. You can stick your rifle right out the window.
You ever sleep with a zebra? It's like, hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, man, it's crazy though. And I did get so in the networking thing, you're an exhibitor. You'll show up to the booth in the morning. You'll have like cards on your table. People walking by saying, they want you to check out their stuff, and you get like a pamphlet, and it's somewhere that's like offering, man, the list is like just this long of all these different species you can hunt. And it's like in Angleton. It's like right down the road, just a high fence with just like 35 different species.
Well, there's a place right by where y'all's house. I mean, I don't think we're allowed to hunt it, but I know there's some zebra over there off England Road. I don't think she would appreciate it.
No, she definitely wouldn't take kindly to that.
She's one of the vets over there.
Is she really?
Yeah. When Gus had an ear infection, I had to bring her over. Then she's like, you know where the zebras are in Hampshire? I'm like, well, yeah. There's only 200 people in Hampshire, Texas. You're the only one with zebras. So,
but I was talking to Matt about, the setup and everything, and he was like, man, you should see these other guys, these other booths, they're pretty badass. They got this, they got that. And I said, look, we're in the game, This is our first fucking expo that we've done. We had a pretty decent setup for our first one, but just like anything else, it's going to get better over time. Once we learn the game, definitely going to need to get a box trailer for this kind of shit. And I know we've talked about getting one for future traveling up north hunting, but that'd be perfect for expos. But our shit, it's going to keep getting better and I want to continue to do these expos. I think it's pretty cool networking and, get to meet new people in person.
We're not going to be limited to Texas either, like by no means. Like, because next year we're doing the Minnesota, what is the Delta or not Delta?
Delta's got one. I think after this year, like we kind of jumped the gun doing it like right now. Like we wanted to do something, kind of get our feet wet so that for next year we can kind of be prepared. We can set like a schedule of we're going to hit this, and this, and we'll be able to make all those expos because we'll know in advance, we're going to schedule it out.
And hopefully more out of state.
Yeah.
I mean, because I know there's a lot of, and honestly, and people listening on live on TikTok and shit like that, like we have probably more followers out of state than we do in Texas. Like that's where most of our haters are from Texas. So if I could go to South Carolina and go do an expo or some kind of festival or show or whatever that, looks promising, then I would drive over there.
No doubt. I'm down to travel too.
Oh yeah.
And it's a different feeling getting to talk to people that just like appreciate what we do, like in the content that we're putting out. They get enjoyment out of it. They come in and they say, hey man, we really like y'all's podcast. We like y'all's videos. Y'all keep doing what you're doing. It just kind of like, it keeps that fire burning, so.
Well, it's nice meeting like-minded people.
Yeah. Good people. And not just like, I mean, there's so many people that want to tell you, hey, you should do it this way or that way. And it's just like when people come up and say, hey man, keep doing what you're doing. That's nice. It's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, we get a lot of those messages, and we appreciate all of them. I try to answer all of them on Instagram. I know Mitchell replies to a bunch of them on TikTok, so
I try to.
Yeah, but yours is a lot bigger scale, what you're doing over there. 300. How many followers now on TikTok? 390?
390.
390. That is
slowly growing, man. The grind will continue.
Yeah, if y'all want to take the load off of him, just hit me up on YouTube. I've got my measly little 4,000 subscribers over there. You're more than welcome to message or comment on any time.
That's a big deal for you. Our YouTube, I think, has strong potential. That shit you put out with the offshore trip with Ryan, that was a badass video, man.
Man, I was really proud of it. It was so long. Yeah, I hated that the retention maybe wasn't there because it was like a 40-minute video, but I just hated to make it cut it short. I had so much good footage. I wanted to put all of that out there, and I know a lot of people that that have been following us and they like this kind of lifestyle. I know they appreciated that, but then I know there's a lot of people that maybe just were just passing by, and they're like, I'm not watching a 40-minute video, But
yeah, I mean, I'm probably one of those people.
Yeah, but we'll create ways to kind of meet in the middle. Obviously, we want to see the channel grow. But at the same time, we don't want to limit it, for the wrong reasons. We want to continue to do good content but not, cut it short or shave it in areas because, we want to see, more monetization or more growth that way. We want to put out good quality shit.
Yeah. I think the only thing, and we're you're running the YouTube, you're doing a damn good job too, but I think more vlogging in the middle of all those lulls will help.
Dude, that was something that I struggle with. I feel like an idiot talking to the camera sometimes.
You do. I mean, and you're talking to a fucking electronic device. Who the fuck am I talking to? But
we're literally doing that right now.
Yeah, but we're talking to each other.
Right.
You stick you stick the camera in your face, and you got 10 people around you, and they're all just staring at you like.
Well, Montana's gonna be a good deal. I'm gonna have Mitchell record me the whole time.
So I think what's cool is I just got us some mics for when we're doing our vlog style stuff, some wireless Rode mics. So we're going to be mic'd up in the blind and shit. I think it's going to be pretty cool. It's going to bring another dynamic to what we're trying to put out. It's going to be sweet.
Yeah, I'm super pumped up about the mics. We've been just trying to get the coolest shit. So whenever it becomes time for hunting season and fall bass fishing and all that, right now it's just
it's a lull, man.
It's so hard to do shit in Southeast Texas.
Well, it's getting practice too. Like I did a video the other day where we went to the lake and fished, and we didn't really catch nothing but dinks. But like learning how to like run and gun, so when the time's right and we're out there just mashing birds, we can get all the right footage, we can get all the good shit. So
you did good on that drone footage.
Yeah, man, that was I was proud of that.
I want you to be drone footaging me while I'm just ripping some fall bass.
Yeah, I'll do it, man.
I'm still excited. I'm ready to do that Andrew Upshaw deal.
Yeah, I would like to get with him and pitch that to him. I think he'd be down. The Dragons versus professional angler Upshaw.
I will take on Andrew. And if you're listening to this, Andrew, I will beat you.
I think it'll be funny. What are you throwing today, Porter? Just a Cinco Wacky.
Yeah.
You got Andrew with his all his electronics.
Yeah. He's
no
over here.
Electronics on Porter, just beating the shit out of the bank.
Andrew's live scoping with like
a whopper flopper.
with a whopper popper, and Porter's over there in a 14-foot John boat throwing Bortles baits left and right.
Throwing the Bayou Dragon baits, baby. We're about to put up a bunch of new ones online, so I took them offline for Houston because I didn't know how they were going to do, which you told me that our baits did very well in Houston, so I'm glad.
Dude, the funny thing about it was it's literally, it's like catching people. Like the baits will catch people. They'll walk by, they would come by the booth, and they would see shirts, they'd see hats, and they'd be like, they go to the Gator show. Well, like they would get right to the end of the booth, and I had the TV right there above the bait table, and they would like kind of glance, and then they would, like it was like setting the hook on them. They would whip it around, and they would turn around, they'd see all these baits, and they'd start leaning over the table and like just picking through them, and they'd be like,
I like this one. This one has glitter.
oh, man, look at this color, And some of like the wildest colors too, they were like, just, I mean, we have all kinds of different colors and stuff, but they're like,
I will give Bortles is a part of the group, so all these baits are Bayou Dragon baits, but he did go above and beyond, just making some random ass colors.
Every color on the spectrum, he didn't miss a lick. I mean, it's like all everywhere.
Yeah, we got like some gross looking colors.
Some unique stuff for sure.
Oh yeah, like anywhere from blood red to royal purple to doo-doo brown, you know what I'm saying?
Dude, hey, throw it. Why not? You never know.
Yeah.
Sometimes some of the best fish I've caught, I've literally just picked up a random ass fucking color and threw it and caught a good fish.
Rance May is the epiphany of finding. He'll just be like, I'll do California 420. Bet. Hematoma. Bet. Crawfish dinner. Bet.
Yeah.
Ex-wife divorce. Bet. I'll throw it.
Yeah.
No, they were like, I was talking to people and I was telling them like, hey, like the watermelons are a great color because like that's like our go-to. I feel like we throw a lot of watermelon, green, red, pumpkin, and then we had some of like the
black and blue and June
black
bug.
and blues, June bugs and stuff like that. And somebody grabbed one and was like, dude, this is my go-to right here. And it was something I've never even fished before.
Did it look like, dude, we had
looked like that.
We had that.
Gas station vape. Is what we called it.
That's the color. Gas station special.
Gas station vape.
And he was like, yeah, man, like this is my color. Like, you ever thrown it? I was like, man, I'll be honest. Bortles made this bait, and I've never thrown anything like that in my entire life. He's like, dude. He's like, that's the one right there.
I need to figure it out.
We had 50 of them because nobody bought them. And he was like, dude, that's the one.
And he didn't buy it?
No, he bought it.
Oh, okay.
He was like, no. He's like, you need to fish this. He bought the Sweet Beaver.
Oh, he bought the Sweet Beaver. Okay.
Like, drop punch a grass mat with this bad boy, 1 ounce tungsten. Give it a couple jigs. If it don't hit, reel it in.
1 ounce tungsten.
Flip
We
it
already
again.
talked about that. Every time I think of 1 ounce tungsten, I've already said this on the podcast, but you popping
Leech right in the forehead.
right in the forehead. But, man, so Dallas this weekend, that's a big deal. So Mitchell, you're about to be moved into your first house, man.
Yep.
How do you feel about that?
I finally get out of Mid-County here in a couple weeks.
Trash County?
Yeah, I moved in with my wife now and rent a house in Mid-County. It's close to work. It was the right move at the time. So I'm building a house right now. I should be moving in a couple weeks. And, man, to be honest, the couple years that I lived in Port Neches, Texas, it was terrible. The area is awful. People, for a hobby, they'll just ride around and throw trash in your yard. Terrible place to live. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody if you're tuning into this. Terrible area. Don't care for it at all. I get to move back to Hampshire where I grew up. I'm very excited. The house will be done soon. And that's my honest opinion, man. I do not like the area.
If anybody's listening from Port Neches or Mid-County alike, I'll post the Mitchell and Porter's address in the description on the YouTube video if you want to come through and distribute hands.
Hey, I'd rather hands than you come and throw trash in my yard. For fun.
Or just drive right into your front door like happened to Mitchell.
Oh, yeah, dude. A girl literally drove into my front porch. People, I mean, it's something new every day. Sometimes it's cans, diapers. I mean, it don't
Cars.
Just people,
cars. I mean,
crackheads.
They enjoy doing that out there. I don't know if they all get together in a little group and say, all right, we're hitting this area today. We're throwing a little trash here. That's what they do out there. So I'm not going to miss that at all.
Well, I'm glad, man. So you're coming back home. Me and Mitch and Matt, we've all grew up together and lived literally like 3 miles from each other all our lives. And then Mitchell went to Trash Natchez.
I'm glad he did, too, because we were talking the other day about how much y'all used to bully me.
Yeah.
And now Mitchell, I had to get some distance from him, and now I've been able to grow into my own and do my own thing. And Mitchell's been over there in his own little world in Port Neches. You know, he just said he loves it over there, so I've been able to kind of grow and breathe a little bit and get my roots.
What birthday was it that you went to Golden Corral?
Oh, God.
Go ahead, bring it up. I don't care.
I don't care if you care or not. It was my 15th birthday, 14 or 15, something like that. My mom and dad asked me, they said, hey, happy birthday, Matthew. We're going to take you out to dinner. You pick wherever you want to go. I said, all right, let's go to Buffalo Wild Wings as a family. Get halfway to town, and Mitchell just goes, let's go to Golden Corral. Golden Corral sounds good. And my parents were like, yeah, it does sound good. I was like, what? It's my birthday. No, we're going to Buffalo Wild Wings. They were like, nah, Golden Corral.
I convinced
the Golden
everyone
Corral
to go to Golden
on
Corral.
my
It was
birthday.
a better selection at the time.
Trash.
And
Absolute garbage.
as they're going, Mitchell's sitting behind Matthew in the car going,
Just teasing, man. Oh, it used to drive me nuts. That's what you get. That's brotherly bullshit right there.
I have a lot of
Good
brotherly
brotherly
bullshit with little Matthew.
dude. What was great was I'd always get drugged into it, and you or Luke would just be like, lie. And that was it. Like, I just had to lie to your parents.
Don't tell our parents.
Don't tell our parents that we're just like fucking with Matthew so hard.
Always, man. Hey, so I had something interesting happen to me this morning. I don't think I told you guys about it. I'm gonna so coming in from Houston last night, we went back to the shop. We did our orders. We got home what I think I got home at like 9:30, 10 o'clock, something like that. It was kind of late. So I'm beat. I've been in Houston all weekend doing this expo. Take a shower, get in bed. I woke up this morning already late to work, so I was like, whatever. Rolled out of bed, take my dog outside in the back, and he's running around. I'm just kind of standing on the porch. I'm kind of out of it. And then my uncle pulls up in his buggy, and he just rolls up. I'm like, what the hell is he doing here?
Leon?
No, Jay. He's like, pulls up to my gate. Hey, where's your horse at, man? And I was like, oh, fuck. I looked up. Pasture's empty. I got a fence right behind my house with a barn, pasture for my horse. Gone. Nothing's in there. I turn and look up, and those fucking horses are running through the pasture, and Jay's on the buggy trying to corral them, and he's like, come on, get in. I'm late for work already, and I didn't have time to like call in and be like, hey, I'm going to be late. My horses got out. So apparently somebody left a gate open at his house. All of his horses got out, got down McCall Road, and they came over like right across the pasture, and you can see it's like right there. And he just watches those horses all day long. He's over here by himself. Jay's got like 4 horses. And they came out, and he just jumped right through the fence, busted the wire, busted the H-brace, everything, just plowed right through it, and was out, and they were just running around Hampshire all morning. And we had to go and corral them back, and I left him at Jay's house, and he was like, what are you going to do about your fence? I was like, I don't fucking know, dude. I got to go to work. Like, just put him in a stall. We'll deal with it later. It was a nightmare. I get to work. They're like, my boss, his name's Mike. He's like, well, Matt, why were you late this morning? And I just started in this new position. I felt like such an ass. I was like, Mike, my horse got out. It was a shit morning. He's like, oh, I hear you. Used to be late to high school. My cows would get out. And I was like, all right, so you understand. It was just all around shit. I had to go back home and doctor up my horse after work. It was a nightmare.
You know what that did, though? That built your character.
Dude, so me and Chase went out last night and shot pool at one of the bars in May County. And we were like, oh, we'll play some teams. So there's a couple guys in there playing pool. And there's a group of these dudes. They were from out of town, scaffold builders. They were here working. And anyway, I looked at Chase. I was like, oh, dude, we got this. These guys ain't nothing. So this dude, literally, it was hilarious, man. He broke. He did not take a break. He literally hit every single ball. Like, every shot, he made a ball. And literally, we had all of our balls left on the table when he was done. Glad I didn't have no money on the game.
Pool shark.
He was a shark, man.
So them scaffold builders, man. Don't fuck with a scaffold builder.
What do you do when you're out of town as a scaffold builder? You go to the bar.
Exactly.
Do you go to the bar or do you go to the strip club?
Yeah, you go to the bar, you play people, you hustle them for their money, and then you take it to the strip club.
So they went to Temptations with all your money afterwards.
They took your money, and they got to see a College Street Highway 90 little titty.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, I guess all they do in their spare time when they're out of town working is play pool, because that dude, he was damn good.
Shout out to the random guy that kicked Mitchell's ass in pool yesterday. If
you're watching this,
good
on you.
Send a photo documentation on Instagram. If I can verify it's you, I will give you a free shirt and hat for just whooping Mitchell's ass. With ease. I'll give it to you and not challenge you in pool. Ping pong, maybe.
I'll play you for it.
Don't. Oh, Matt, Keaton was telling me a little bit of the story about your mustache.
Oh, my gosh. Dude, we're in the booth. So of all the things that people would come up and say to you at this expo, like I was telling Mitch earlier, every idea that you have of what it's going to be like, you kind of got to just like readjust and like just throw it all out. You get there and it's nothing like you thought it would be. People are coming up. Come on. People are coming up to the booth, and the main thing people ask, where y'all from? What do y'all do? Obviously, so we talked to them about that. This woman comes up, and she's looking at, hey, where y'all from? What do y'all do? And I tell her all this stuff, and then she's like, I love your mustache. I was like, hey, thanks. She's like, is it real? I was like, yeah. She's just been like, no. Ripped it off. Dude, I don't know what kind of question is that. Who has a fake? Who just wears a fake mustache? I don't know, but it was hilarious. Like, she walked off, and I looked at Keaton. I was like, why would someone ask that?
I've never put in those situations because I would love if someone would have been like, is that a fake mustache? Yes, it is.
Yeah.
She's like, can you prove it? No. I'll forever keep it a secret.
I don't know why. What would
possess somebody to ask you?
If you ever saw somebody with a mustache, did you ever think to yourself, is that real?
That's fucking great.
I will tell you this. Me and Porter are currently sharing a spittoon. I really don't think you're truly friends with somebody unless you've shared a spittoon with them.
Yeah, but y'all already both have rabies, right?
No, trench mouth.
Trench mouth is what.
Yeah, we got that. We got that marshmallow.
Share that marshmallow, baby.
Dude, that doesn't bother that. Dude, that is probably the most sanitized thing I've put in my mouth in the last week. Honestly,
probably so.
Your mouth.
Thank you, Matthew.
Keings.
Kings. So Matthew met a guy at this Houston Trophy Hunters Expo, and his name was Kings.
No, man, he was a young man named Michael Robin, and his business that he ran was Kings. So I saw some of the stuff he had out there. Had to bring some of that back for the boys, man.
Yeah, like this dude don't even sponsor us, but I'm just going to give him a shout out because this shit is clean as hell.
Yeah,
the threads are fire. Also, give a shout out to Snuff Cup. We love this dude. Good quality spittoon. You pop it open. You can close it. I'm weak. Open it up.
You did hit the gym.
I need to hit the gym. Put your...
It's a terrible
I'm drunk.
demonstration.
It is. But hey, man, I've had a little bit too much Buffalo Trace. Put your can in there. It's machine washable. Hey, good quality spittoon. Also, like always, shout out to Floyd Fabrication. He does all our hats. This hat's fresh on the website. He did our little canvas banner thing behind us. That dude, any hat, any shirt, any sign you need done, he can do it.
Much more work to come from Mr. Floyd.
Yeah, Floyd Fabrication he's the dude. He started doing wraps, and we have a lot of stuff in the works with him.
We're going to have him down to visit, too, this hunting season. He really wants to come down, make a hunt with us, hang out. He's got a bunch of shit he wants to give me for baby shit. He's offered to give me. Very grateful for that. So I'm going to take whatever I can get. You know, whoever gives me clothes and shit for babies, I mean, shit, I'll take it, man.
That's where people mess up. Like, a normal person, like when someone offers something, they'll be like, oh, man, I appreciate it, but never utilize it or take it up. If you don't really want to give me something, never offer it to me, because I will take it and I will utilize every ounce that you have. So if you say, hey, you want to go shoot this whitetail on my high fence ranch, I will be there in November, and I'll show up with a case of Lone Star Light, shout out Lone Star Light, and I will shoot whatever you allow me to.
I hope to harvest a deer this year. I need to get some meat for the freezer. I didn't get one last year, but I'm hoping. I mean, I should be able to get a doe this year from my wife's cousins. They got a ranch up north. He's going to let me, I think, come shoot a doe or something.
Yeah. I had somebody reach out to me the other day about getting together and doing some hunting, and he's from Virginia. His name's escaping me right now, but
his name's escaping me right now?
No, that's not his actual name. But no, I was asking what kind of, what the hunting was like up there, and he said it was an excellent whitetail hunting, and I would really like to get up there and just harvest something for meat.
Virginia?
For the meat. West Virginia.
West Virginia.
Mountain Mama.
Yeah, take me home.
Country road.
Oh, this is going to get out of hand, this episode. I can just feel it in my plums. But, so Dallas this weekend. So we've heard from everybody. And if you're from Dallas and listen to this podcast or tune into this podcast, and we heard that is the Mecca for the Texas Trophy Hunters. There's a lot of people that go there. A lot. And I'm super excited to hear from y'all too, like how many people are there.
Man, and if you're tuning into this podcast and you're in the area, from what I understand, Texas Trophy Hunters is not a big waterfowl gig. I know that's a lot of the content that we bring to the table. We're big waterfowl hunters. Come out and see us. We'd really love to make a showing of it. And I've heard that Trophy Hunters used to have a lot of like waterfowl exhibitors, and that over the past couple of years, it's kind of died down for, guys that come out and do waterfowl. So I'd really like to see, if anybody's out there listening and they're in the area, to come out and see us and, kind of make a good showing out there.
Well, I think a lot of people appreciate it. Like we said, like we have baits, bass fishing baits or trout fishing baits, and that's something they go to these expos not expecting to see.
Yeah.
So we're bringing some new shit to the table.
Dude, and that was a ton of people that would walk by and say, like, oh, there's the baits.
Oh, wait.
Oh.
That's him.
That's the guy. Like 90% of people would walk by and they'd look at it and they'd go, Bayou Dragons. What these guys are doing. What is that? What's a Bayou Dragon? I'm like, man, just take a second and think about it.
Well, so the way you were just doing that voice, they had to definitely be over the age of 55.
Man, I had a fellow that came up to the booth. He was, I would say, well into his 60s, probably late 60s, and he walked up and, Bayou Dragon. He looked at it, and he started asking, where y'all from? What do y'all do? What's this about? All right. Give me 2 of those in a large, 2 of those in an XL, and that, like, it's just like you share the idea and what we've got going on behind it, and it's an interesting thing. It really is, and it's appealing. This is our lifestyle, and I think a lot of people you know, there's a market for what we do on a daily basis. People like that, man. And, you know, I told him, check us out. And he said, man, I'll definitely be following y'all. He's a 65-year-old man. He had tattoos from his wrist all the way up onto it, like from his ears down, like just crazy looking dude from like, there's people from all walks of life coming by.
Get the man off the bike.
I don't know about that. He looked like he could ride a bike for sure.
He probably rode a bike there.
Not a Joe Biden type, but no, he was cool as shit. Looked like a completely different, you know, type of guy. You know, not like, you know, just different. Like not doing his own thing. Not necessarily, you know, like us. Maybe you wouldn't look at this guy and think he's an outdoorsman. All about it.
He likes our
Loved
shit
it,
though.
Man. Liked our shit, man.
That's what we're trying to do. This is handmade shit we're talking.
This is handmade quality shit we're talking here.
And if anyone asks why I wear these glasses, because Hook and Bullet, which these are, they make you see better. Like, honestly, when you put these on, you can see in the future. And that's a claim that I will stand behind. And if anyone thinks I'm a liar, then just go ahead and buy you a couple pairs. Hook and Bullet glasses.
Yeah, I think they're going to be the next big sunglass brand.
Oh, dude. I mean, Costas ain't going to be able to hold their freaking jockey strap, bro.
And what I really liked about them is whenever we were on the boat and we're looking at the electronics, I didn't have to like do this to be able to see it. I could just look right at it. Yeah. Polarized lenses, a lot of times you go and look at your electronics, whether it's your phone, you know, your sonars, all that other shit. You can't see it. The screens are just black.
Well, you're doing one of these.
Yeah, you gotta pull them down, or you gotta kind of look at them like this. Hook and Bullets, made for that.
Speaking of jockey straps, did y'all wear? In high school, we had a pair of jock straps we wore. It's called the Duke. Did y'all wear those in Anahuac?
Yeah. The assless chap ones?
The assless chap.
Assless,
and
man.
I've honestly got online and researched. I might buy me a couple pair of the Dukes just for casual wear. They were very comfortable. You felt very secured wearing
There's
them.
no way you're being serious.
Nah, dude, they were super comfortable, man. It felt secure. I mean,
no, I felt like I was exposed to everything when I wore the Duke.
Man, I had a couple of pairs actually, and you know, since you're my older brother, they were hand-me-downs. They were a little short in the crotch. I don't know if that's due to your casual use or not, but they were a little bit tight on me, I felt like.
Yeah, well, I'd like to get some just for the Duke and mesh combo type of thing, you know, just walking around the house. Not like public wearing or anything, but just chilling around the house. I think I'm buying me a couple.
There is
If I come into your house and you're wearing the Dukes on a Wednesday afternoon.
Dude, if you're going to wear the Dukes, you got to go full-blown Duke and just only Duke.
I agree.
Like, sit on your couch, your brand new couch that you bought in the Dukes, and just embrace it.
Oh my gosh.
Let the leather just get that hiney, boy.
Oh my gosh. Every bit of the cheeks, man.
Yeah, I'm going to definitely get online and buy me a couple pair of the Duke jockeys. Very comfortable wear, and, you know, you just feel good wearing them.
Anyway, so the Dukes. That was a very random, and I appreciated that.
Well, you said jockey strap made me think of the Dukes. I remember wearing the Dukes going through school, and I was like, man, you know, I ought to look online and see if I get me a couple pair.
Ask Chad Carter. He might have some pairs that you can wear. But, no, we did not wear the Dukes in Anahuac. We wore boxer briefs or nothing, you know. You know what kind of school I went to, so the Dukes wouldn't have worked there.
But Mitchell's the type of guy, you're going to see him in the gym one day. He's going to be wearing his fucking zip-up tracksuit from when we were in high school because he stole it from the athletic department.
I really wish I still had that.
He's a definitely
badass.
type of reminisce guy. You know, I remember all the stuff he brought home. After was 2 years out of high school, we still had football cleats. We had tracksuits. I had multiple pairs of the Dukes in my closet. Because Mitchell would just take everything from the athletic department.
So do you hang the Dukes up on a clothes hanger?
It depends on what kind of day you were having,
I
guess.
The Dukes have a special container they're stored in. If you have the Dukes, they don't go in the closet. They don't go in the dresser. They got their own storage area.
Oh, good.
Special casing.
I was unaware, and I'm glad I'm aware now. This might help some people out. They're wanting some nice supportive underwear. Get the Dukes.
Gosh.
Jesus Christ. I hope Dukes reaches out and they're like,
Dukes is going to say, we need the Dragons
Yeah.
and Dukes tomorrow.
Bayou Dragon Dukes. Comfort, collectability.
I mean, the name says it all. The Duke, man.
It's the Duke, man.
Jesus Christ. I lost my train of thought on the Dukes, but oh man, I'm still stuffed from that beautiful dinner that I always prepare before this podcast.
And that's
tell
why
y'all.
a lot of the time I'm like, Porter, let's do a podcast because I know we're going to come over here and eat good. Porter prepared some yellowfin tuna. He sears them, and they're outstanding. The way he cooks them with the side of Brussels sprout and rice, and he heats up a little soy sauce with it. He's got a little concoction he puts together. It's incredible.
You're going to come to Porter's house. I did this today. We came over. I brought the tuna with me. Now, this was courtesy of him for allowing me to get on the boat. And
You're
go fishing.
welcome.
So I bring home some tuna and come over to Porter's house with it. And I told him, I was like, hey, man, you don't have to make me a plate. Like, I'll make my own plate. He's like, no, I'm going to make you a plate. And you're not going to say shit about it because it's my house. I said, okay. He presents me this spread. I mean, the rice with the tuna on top, makes a little design with the sriracha sauce. Oh, my gosh. If you've never had seared tuna or even raw tuna, like fresh out of the ocean, I'm telling you, I went out there, I did that, done it one time. And the one time I did it, I got home and I was reevaluating my entire life. I was like, what have I been doing wrong this whole time?
Yeah, so until you've experienced something like that, like you catch something from 1,000 foot deep and then eat it straight out of the ocean, you feel like you've been sinning your whole life.
It's wrong.
Because it's so clean. It cleanses your soul, your palate. You don't have to ask for forgiveness. Just eat some yellowfin tuna.
And what a lot of people don't understand when they go to the ocean, they go to the beach, you go offshore fishing, that salt water is really good for your skin. That salt water is good for your skin, man. I say it to everybody. You get in that water, if you got a little, it'll clear you up, man. It's good for your skin.
That was the ongoing joke. The whole time me and Matt, we're on a boat for like 72 hours just fishing. And every time one of us had a chance, we'd look at each other and like, do you know this salt water is good for your skin, though?
It's good for your skin.
Oh, Matt
man.
came down to the beach when I was staying there for a few days, and we'd go swimming in the evenings. I was like, man, I love getting in this ocean. It's just good for your skin.
Salt water's good for your skin. He said it 10 times a day for 3 days in a row. And then we get on the boat, and I looked at Porter, and I said, hey, man, you know that salt water is it's good for your skin.
And I've said it.
He had heard it 1,000 times from Mitchell prior to that.
I've said it. Every time I come off like those boats, you feel exfoliated. And not just from like the salt water and the salt just being on you, but I mean, you're taking showers. If you have the luxury of being on a boat like we do, you take showers in that filtered water, like that turns that salt water into fresh, but it just cleanses your skin.
And I'll tell you, I'm
I feel
one thing
clean.
I'm extremely grateful for with whoever designed the Viking yacht. Thank you so much for padding the walls, because I was walking down the hallway where we were doing like 30 knots, going out 150 miles, and I was just getting my ass kicked, bumping up against the walls, slamming my head. I was like, I would have probably came off of that boat and not had any motor function if that walls hadn't been padded.
Hardwood.
Just hardwood, dude. I would have been bleeding out of my ears. It was so bad.
I loved it so much. So I mean,
amazing.
I'm definitely not no expert. I'm not no Warhol. I'm not, but I've been off, a lot for years now, and I love taking people, like taking you and taking Matt, and Matt's never been offshore, so bringing Matt, when I'm saying this dude didn't have a sea legs, it's like. So have you ever seen the videos like the giraffe whenever they have a baby
when they're born?
It falls down like 8 foot, hits the ground, and then tries to stand up.
Wavering.
They're quivering. Matthew's like trying to film, and he's like,
It's hard as shit to film offshore, dude.
Dude, it was. But you know what I found on that back deck? When you get out on the deck, it's extremely friendly because you can catch this angle. I had 3 different angles of, bringing in that marlin. And I thought to myself, like, in other aspects, like when we're trying to film hunts in the marsh, that's extremely hard to do because everything's wet. You got to cover up to the fucking max. And, like, going offshore, doing that, like you're out on a boat, you can cover all angles on the deck. Like, it was so much easier to do had I not been trying to keep my legs underneath me, I would have probably gotten much better footage.
And
I was about
also-
to fall down at every point during the day.
It doesn't help that we drink the whole time. I got on the boat. It was 5:30, 5:25 in the morning. I crack open a Lone Star Light. It's like,
You got to, man.
well, it
5:26, if I recall.
was on your YouTube video. If you haven't watched that, Matt did a pretty good little YouTube video on that deal, and I think the first scene is me cracking a beer, and it's pitch black outside, and it's like, okay, well, this guy has a problem.
No, that's a good problem to have, being on a boat drinking a beer at 5 in the morning. I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't complain.
I love that's my.
Not complaining.
I love that my problems are being on a boat or just going out of town or state or country or whatever.
Good. Those are all good problems to have.
Follow me on or Snapchat. You can live vicariously through me.
Follow Porter's got an OnlyFans, actually.
Yeah, so I started on OnlyFans. It's just me doing stuff, and it's only like
Porter invites woman over and has quality conversation.
We actually read Harry Potter to each other, but man, this Buffalo Trace is fantastic. If you've never had it, and we're not a sponsor by them either. By the way, Buffalo Trace, if you want to sponsor us, I will take it. That shit is fantastic. But
what was it that you brought to my wedding? It was Old Forester. Yeah. You left a bottle of, like, an almost full bottle of Old Forester.
Yeah,
in my
that was
house.
for
I really,
you.
Really enjoyed that.
That was for you. It was probably either the Prohibition or it was the Bottled and Bond. I think it was Bottled and Bond, like 1910 or something like that, or 1930.
It was 1910.
Yeah.
So
So
1930, one or the other. But yeah, it had the year on the label.
Fantastic.
Very good, man. Very
fantastic bourbon, and I appreciate that you appreciated it.
good. Yeah, I did. I left it. I have like a little spread where I've got my whiskeys and my bourbons and all
Nice.
right there on the countertop.
Nice.
Man, I enjoyed it. I just finished it off the other day.
Good. That stuff actually will cleanse your soul too. All we do is cleanse our souls with anything we do.
How about a good Dunkaroo to cleanse you?
Oh, dude.
Man.
Describe to the people what a Dunkaroo is.
So
They don't know what one
They
is.
told me when we were out there marlin fishing, we weren't, we went through the first day, we trolled, no bites. And then day 2, we're out there, and they're like, man, it's, midday, we're starting to get, something's got to change. We got to mix it up a little bit. And they're like, it's time for some Dunkaroos. And as soon as they said that, they looked right at me. First time on a boat, and they're like, I'm like, all right, well, I'm about to get wet, Like, yeah. So they filled up a 5-gallon bucket full of ice and then salt water.
Okay, no, it wasn't just ice. It was the ice from
bloody ice from the cooler where we had tuna in there. There was blood all in the ice, man. And they filled it up, and they were like, all right, you got to dunk your head in this icy salt water and hold it down for at least, and they were like, all right, it's your first time, 5 seconds for you.
5 Mississippi.
Oh, and I wasn't about to punk out. I was going to go for 10, They're like, all right, 5 seconds, and then when you come up, immediately they shove a beer in your face, and you got a shotgun of cold beer right then and there. Dude, I plunged my head into this ice water, and it was a saltwater baptism. Immediately, everything was just extremely sharpened, and I came out of the water, and I was like, where am I? And They just were like, here. It was a Lone Star, and I just chugged it as fast as I could. Porter came out of the water after his, and he was completely void of motor function. They stuck up beer in his face, and he was just like,
Well, because Matt did a solid 5, and I was like, I'm not going to let this guy that's never been on a boat outdo me.
Oh,
So
man.
at like between 8 and 9 Mississippi, I finally came up, and I was like, oh, no.
He was like quivering. He was like,
My face looked like this right here. Just if you're watching this white. Got no blood in my head, and I tried shotgunning that beer, and it was just a failed attempt.
when you plunged your face into the ice, it went into every orifice that Porter had. It was like in his ears, it was in his nose, and when he came out, it was all stuck in there, and he had brain freeze, and he was like, he couldn't even move. He was just
like Scoob.
So they call that a Dunkaroo, huh?
yeah, the Dunkaroo, man, the Dunkaroo.
We didn't have to Dunkaroo with Mitch because it was right off the rip. We caught a 600-pound marlin just.
Dude, you know what?
Hour one.
So I'm not gonna put too much information out there out of respect for the people that we were fishing with, but there was a person out there that had been sighting these marlins that we were in the area fishing, and the marlin that we caught, supposedly, now I don't know if this is 100% accurate or not, right? But the guy had been seeing these marlin day in and day out doing the same things, you know, coming up and feeding at the same time. And 2 weeks after we came off the boat, there was a tournament that somebody had come out there to fish, and they pulled that marlin and actually, you know, brought it in, kill fish, gaffed it, and weighed it in. And so, like, I thought it was so crazy that these guys could look at this fish and be like, oh, it's a 500-pound marlin. I'm like, how would you know? Like,
and it was.
I know. I was like, how would you know? Like, we got him up to the boat, but they, you know, they popped a leader on him and we released him.
Yeah.
And this guy came back and said, you know, like, hey, I've been watching this marlin every single day, and these guys came out here and caught it, and now I see this other fish, this other blue marlin that I've been watching. He's doing the same thing every day, and now this fish is gone. And he posted the photos of them weighing it in, and it was 497.
Yeah, it was like
3 pound difference in what they were able to just see off the back of the boat.
Well, they do it so
much.
Yeah, they've done it so much, and they know what the fuck they're doing. They know what they're looking at. They see the fish. They're like, okay, I've caught one. You know, they've caught many in different ranges, I'm assuming. That's the same thing with us catching bass, you know?
Right.
Like we pull a fish up, okay, you know, that's a 3 pounder, 4 pounder. You know, we don't have to weigh it.
That's an 8 pounder.
If they're over 5, I'm putting them on.
So that story you just told reassured me with the whole.
Grab me a beer, Matthew.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Sure.
It reassured me with the whole, like, they were literally the story Matthew's telling is true with this guy. He was stationed out there offshore, so he's seeing the same fish that we did catch. We were 3 pounds off of what we said 500 pounds. When me and Mitch went, we had one that
one was giant.
Well, a grander. It was close to 1,000 pounds, which would have been we were close to having the state record on. But like you said, if it would have been 3 pounds less, and you ended up killing this beautiful creature, then you would feel like a giant pile of shit.
Right.
So it's like, man, the only way you know is if you weigh it.
That's what was crazy to me, like going back and looking at my footage, that 500-pound marlin, the videos didn't do it justice. But I go back and look at these fish that y'all caught, and it was like, holy shit, these things were huge.
No, that one
dwarfed a 500-pound marlin.
That marlin we had on, and what's his name?
Which one?
The hand.
Oh, Jeremiah.
Jeremiah goes, that's the biggest marlin I've ever seen. Like, and he's fished in Australia, he's fished in Hawaii, he's fished Texas, he's fished East Coast, West Coast, like, and he's like, that one's close to 1,000 pounds.
Yeah, for him to say that, it's just like, okay,
it's like,
this is a big son of a bitch.
And everybody was just like ready.
Well, they contemplated gaffing it and putting it in the boat, but then, like y'all said, I mean,
if it would have been 1 pound off, you would feel like shit. Like if you're 1 pound off from the state record, or you know whatever for blue marlin, it's like we just did that for nothing. We just killed this beautiful creature for nothing,
dude. And that was something that, like, on YouTube when I put that video out, there were people that were like, oh, you know, y'all didn't even land the fish. And I was like, dude, no. I get it. I didn't understand it either because I've never marlin fished before. I've never even been offshore. But, you know, having been through that experience, like, dude, even the fish was never landed, right, out of respect for saying, look, this is a 500-pound fish. Well, we're not going to kill it and take it out of this environment. So, you know, we want it to be back out there and thrive.
People that don't land fish, like it is landed once you leader.
Yeah. And, like, again, that was something that, like, I didn't understand as never being somebody who's been offshore before. So they explained it to me. But even before that, like, dude, just like the whole fight, getting that fish up to the boat, being able to look like it's right there, dude, that was freaking electric.
Yeah.
It was electric, dude.
No,
I can't, like, as much as I can film and do all this stuff, I can't give you that feeling.
No, it'll make your TTR for sure. No, that's like I've seen, you know, close to 1,000 pound marlin at the end of my line. I've seen shy, less than a half ounce, 10-pound bass, you know, landed in my boat.
Well, Mitchell's seen them in and out of the boat.
Yeah.
I believe I've told that story.
He's already told that story.
I'm not going to ask you to tell it
if you
again.
want to talk about that story, I think it's episode 2.
I think we'll leave it episode 2.
I think it's episode 2, maybe 1 when Mitchell did that. So, and we appreciate everybody that's been tuning into this, and we've been getting a lot of requests, and we've just been busy. I want us to be doing this at least twice a week for sure. It just right now, summertime, hunting season, we're going to be literally together the whole time. So we might do 2-3 a week.
Yeah, and
it might just be shit like this, just bullshitting, talking about our hunt that day, talking about what we got going on.
Yeah, we're gonna have we're gonna be moving locations for the podcast too, and I get the house built and finished, have a little studio in there, so we're gonna have a little change of scenery, and everything's gonna keep improving.
Oh yeah, and hopefully we can be, it may not be exactly like the podcast, but we'll be mic'd up in the blind this year.
Yeah,
Be able to bring a new aspect of, our content, where we're sitting in the blind, you get the experience with us where we're out there hunting and doing our thing, and you get the audio too where we're sitting there bullshitting.
Dude, I'm so ready to be mic'd up like Ray Lewis, just getting crunk as hell. A ball of blue wing teal come in, just, everybody get ready!
Dude, I'm gonna definitely have to cut. I'm gonna have to razor the audio right there and drop it down because we're gonna be sitting here talking, and then it's just gonna be deafening.
Getting pretty close to time.
Yeah, we can do that.
It's whatever. I'm good. Honestly, I could sit here for another 3 hours, but thank you to everybody that's been, all our, I say sponsors, everybody that's been, hooking us up between Ben Floyd, Snuff Cup, Hook and Bullet. Y'all are all amazing. Thank you, everybody that's been watching the podcast and following our TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. If you haven't, I hate to be that sumbitch that's like, like and subscribe, but it helps us.
But like and subscribe. We appreciate the support. Hey, we really do. Thank y'all for being here for us, man. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. And then if you're in Dallas this coming up weekend, do we know the days?
Yeah,
exactly.
It's going to be the 12th, 13th, and 14th.
12th,
We're going to be in Dallas, Texas at the Texas Trophy Hunters Extravaganza. I forget the name of the venue, but it's a big event center, downtown Dallas. Mitchell and I will be there. Y'all come and see us, man. It's a good time. We're going to be out there to hang out with you guys. Booth's going to be fun. A lot of good stuff going on. They got gator shows, snakes, all that good shit. If you're an outdoorsman, you'll love it. I went out there, and I want to say we made profit, but I spent so much money on other cool shit because it's just such a good place to be. So y'all come by and check it out.
Thank y'all.
Appreciate it, everybody.